Hey, good afternoon, Capricorns. My name is Anne, and welcome to this Old Goat Tarot. This is a Capricorn channel for all placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. So definitely, look for all placements and welcome cross watchers. This is going to be your career and finance reading for the upcoming week. Now, today is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. From a numerological perspective, it breaks down to the number 5, which is about changes and transformations. But the time period in particular that we're looking at today is from May the 30th, which is a Friday, all the way through Thursday, June the 5th. So let's go ahead and get started. And as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Before we do, I do want to just clear the energies with you. Spirit, angels, and guides, only the highest and best for the Capricorn collective. We just want the strongest messages, the clearest messages to help our Capricorn community. All right. Okay. Now again, I did shuffle these decks 5 times. Spirit, what messages do you have? What is the Capricorn collective energy for today's reading? You did draw this stingray card. So I'm going to actually read from the guidebook, and as I do, I welcome you to just sort of take a moment to lean into the illustration on the card. If you are seeing any stingrays in your life recently on the screen, this is your confirmation. If not, you're seeing one now. So this particular deck represents the element of water by the upside down triangle. So this is from the suit of the water. This is about developing confidence, sense of self, or a spine. The stingray represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, which is challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. When you're in balance, you're eager, you want to grow. When you're out of balance, it blames others or quits. To bring back into balance, move through the discomfort. Okay. So when I heard the message around a spine, I immediately was drawn to, and the idea of confidence, I immediately was thinking about boundaries in the workforce. Again, if this is about your career, perhaps there is something there that you are reflecting on, or in this stage of reflection, because a boundary was crossed, and sort of that whiplash about what happened, how did this happen, did I have boundaries, what should I do next? And so while we're sort of stuck as the dust settles, sort of wondering what comes next, I'm hoping today that Spirit will give us a little bit more guidance on the next steps we should take. But ultimately here, if there's something related to confidence, or you've had your confidence rocked in any sort of way, I do believe that this message today, this reading may be for you. All right. We'll go ahead and get started. And by the way, if whatever you're hearing does resonate, I would be so honored for a like or subscribe. All right. So I do a reading of recent, past, current energy, and potential outcome. So 5 of Swords. We pulled the 10 of Swords in reverse and current energy. It's number 3, Major Arcana, the Empress in the upright position for future outcome. Bottom of the deck, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. All right. So take a minute. The Queen of Pentacles is really interesting. It is the Capricorn representation of the minor arcana. And, you know, she is really focused on stability, security. She really owns a level of presence in her garden. And I don't see that this card came out in reverse. So this may not be a situation where you don't have a spine. I think what it comes down to is Spirit is asking for us to tap into this inner wisdom, this inner confidence in ourselves, that it's easy to get into a trap of almost gaslighting ourselves into what had happened. But Spirit is saying that you have a spine already. This is not in reverse. You have a spine, and that is very telling for a Capricorn, because it was earned. It came over the course of time. It was not something, you know, we learn through doing. A lot of times we climb that mountain. We oftentimes have a journey, and then on the other side of it, we've sort of gained another level of us, and that innate confidence. There's something here that I'm sensing, that there was a boundary that had been crossed, and now we're in this state of needing to stand up for ourselves and taking comfort that she's not playing. She's not willing to go back on her. She's not willing to compromise on her stability. And that's what it comes down to, that there is some sort of action, there is some sort of confrontation, or we need to address this situation. It's not one of those events that we can let slide, if you will. And I'm not saying that we have to harbor any sort of grudge or hold on to something in sort of a Four of Pentacles type of way. Rather, I'm sensing that this is something that we need to tap into, that inner confidence that she exudes in her garden, because she's been there, she's done that, she's wise, she's very comfortable. You know, this is an earth sign. She's in tune to her environment, and she knows when, you know, it's almost like she can sense when something's wrong. You know how like you can smell when it's about ready to rain, or the wind breezes. The wind picks up and there's a breeze. She knows when something is awry or something's about ready to change. And I'm guessing that something happened here, and because of that that change that has occurred, that maybe have crossed those boundaries. We're still in the wake of what happened, and what is it that where are we to be next? And that confidence that we have is telling us that instead of playing victimhood, why does this happen to me? Or instead of being in a state of being a wet blanket, if you will, to someone, and it can happen all the time. It's happened to me before, where I have put myself in a position where I have been walked over, And it has been through many lessons in which I have gained that spine. So what have you done, Capricorn, where you've grew that spine? And this is what we're really being called to lean into in this time. So let's take a look at the cards here. I'm not surprised that we have this Five of Swords here. Confusion. Something happened here. Something definitely threw us through a loop. It involved another party. You can see someone in the background in the water. There was, in this particular deck, the swords are represented by these birds. But when I look at this card, I'm immediately drawn to the word swords. It's up there at the top. And I can't help but to not eyeball the words within the word sword. And words can be can be a weapon, and they can also be so powerful as tools for us to get through this lifetime. And when we use our words, they can crush people in an instant, or they have the power to elevate and to raise a vibration. It could be one or the other. And I'm almost sensing that there was something said to you, perhaps about your performance, something that involved someone else, and you're very confused by that. And there's this crow here. Perhaps you're seeing, you are seeing some sort of birds or crows, and if so, that's a synchronicity. To me, this feels like there was an intuition here. There were signs that Spirit was trying to tell you that something's up, something was coming. And that, again, I sense that with this Queen of Pentacles here too. Like I said, she has these these branches growing out of her head here. She's so in touch with nature, so in touch that the moment the temperature changes, even the slightest half degree, she notices. And something was up. There was some synchronicity. There was some signs and synchronicities that you had a gut feeling on knowing that something was up. So I'm curious. Let's see what, let's get some clarifiers on this, Spirit. Why is the Five of Swords here in recent energy, in the recent past for the Capricorn collective? Help me understand what this Five of Swords is trying to tell us today. Woo, that was way too many, but I guess there's a story here. So, first off, I see, well, bottom of the deck. Let's do that first. Here's the Eight of Cups. Something was hidden. There's a walking away, but you're doing that voluntarily. So that to me tells me that you're claiming back your power. But something upset you. Something that was hidden from you. There's a moon there. All right. So Spirit wants to tell a story here. So this came fast. There was a Chariot here. It tells me that this was fast-moving energy. The Magician was in reverse. It came so fast that it seems as if you didn't, you were left in such a confused state here that you didn't necessarily tap into all of the things that you could have tapped into in a normal situation where ordinarily you have all of these skills. You didn't even have that opportunity. It came so fast. Okay. We have the Lovers in reverse. Oh, actually, in the upright position from my perspective. This involved another party, okay, that you had some sort of positive relationship with. Maybe there was a sense of betrayal here. Perhaps there was something that the other party did that felt like a betrayal. We have the Star in reverse. And to me, that says that there was some sort of hope or wish that you had wanted for some sort of outcome, and it just did not happen. I'm just going to go like that because of the algorithm. with the Queen of Pentacles one more time, you immediately felt this betrayal, and your confidence, this inner knowing that there was a disruption in this garden here, okay? And you knew that this person could have been lying to you this whole time, in just interactions that you had with them. It felt off. The smile, the interactions, there was a cold shoulder, and I think she knew it right away. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. Again, that seems, in the upright position, it's a victory. This tells me that this did not necessarily go in your favor. And then at the bottom of the deck, or at the bottom here in reverse, we have the Ace of Cups. Again, this was something that you thought was going to go in one way, but it didn't. You thought you were going to be fulfilled by it. I think there was a betrayal. You're left sitting, you're left very confused. Like, why is this other person here who's supposed to be my friend? Why would they do this? Okay. Could be an acquaintance. It could be maybe a stronger connection, but it was definitely in the workplace. There was some sort of betrayal here. But you, at the bottom of the deck, you took back your power. You're not looking back at all of these cups. You're walking away from this, and you took swift action. And there was words. Again, I'm getting the message here that there was some words that were exchanged, and it was heartbreaking. All right, let's move on. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this isn't over yet. In the upright position, it's an ending. It's not over yet. The story is not complete. There was a lot here that happened, and like I said, this was the star card in reverse. I'm just keeping it down for the algorithm here, but ultimately, the thing that you should take comfort in is you did take back your power. You did tap into this this inner strength. The spine came through. You grew that spine in a former lifetime, in a former situation. This is not the first time that something went down like this, and you're not willing. And that's again what I'm gathering is this is why this is in reverse. Is it's not over, and I think the part of it that's not over is the fact that you're sitting here and you're like, well, I need to address this. You're gonna see this other person. They're not completely like out of your day-to-day life, and their participation in whatever had occurred is not okay. There was a boundary that was crossed. It left you sort of without any options, and it happened fast. So let's see here. It's not over, and it's you're still feeling the impact here, but you're not a victim. You're not taking this, let's say you're not helpless. So let's see what does Spirit have to say about this Ten of Swords in reverse and the current energy. You're still in this dazed and confused state, and you have an inner knowing, this confidence, this spine is coming through. You're leaning on Spirit. Like, how do I address this? Like, where do I go from here? What messages do we have? Why is the Ten of Swords here in this current energy? Okay, anything else? All right, we have the Two of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, the world is your oyster. You know that you have so much more inside of you to learn. You're looking at this experience from a position not of, again, I'm hearing over and over, you're not a victim. You're not a victim. You've been there. You've done that. You've gone past that lesson, if you will, in life, And now you're looking at this of like, okay, what can I learn from this experience? And that's a really positive thing, Capricorns, and that's a really mature way of looking at this, which is like, what am I learning from this? How can I expand and grow? What am I learning? You got this Page of Wands that came out sideways, which perhaps to me in the upright position, this tells me you're looking at the world with a passion of the inner child, something exciting, a new beginning. It's sideways though, and I think perhaps you were a little naive, and I think that that's the lesson here. You were a little naive, in the sense of you were almost in denial that you felt something was coming. You had that intuition, that inner knowing, but you were like, it was kind of like one of those, oh, well, this could happen, but you kind of brushed it under the rug. And then there's this King of Pentacles here in the upright position, which is telling me again that there is this balance here. You can read this card in a lot of different ways, but this is really telling me that he's here to reclaim his power. He's here to take the action. So while she has this inner confidence and this inner knowing, this inner peace that she has no fear, there's nothing here in this lifetime that can move her ever again and make her feel small. There's this king, which is, the divine masculine aspect, which is now you got to do something about it. You're not willing to just take this lying down. Okay. So I love the fact that we are taking this, you're taking this, in a very healthy way of like, what can I learn from this? I have to take some sort of action. I have to stand up for myself. I can't just know that, hey, that doesn't apply to me. I need to also take an action. And I think the learning here is the fact that you were naive. You saw it coming, and you decided to push that under the rug. And again, you're reclaiming your power here. So we've got the Empress here in potential outcomes. She's pregnant with this brand new world and this brand new you, Capricorn. So if there was something that rocked your world at work, there was it happened. All these messages came out all at once just now. And again, there was a state of confusion. There was words exchanged. You need to take action. It's not over yet. This is where you are right now. But on the other side of this, there's going to be, this Empress is sort of baking a new path forward. And the World card is a new beginning. It's a completion. Well, to me, I think of this, whatever it is that you went through and that you're currently integrating and absorbing and responding to. What that's doing is it's building a sort of a level setting, a new normal. That's what I'm gathering. Why is the Empress here for career and finance in a position of potential outcomes? What can we learn from the Empress? Take one or two messages for the Capricorn collective. Why is the Empress here? Usually I do 3 times. If I get nothing, then it's nothing. And we just have bottom of the deck. It might just be that. There was a lot stated already. It sounds as if that we just have the bottom. All right, we've got the Fool in reverse. Okay. So, a new beginning. This isn't going to be a complete new set. A new experience. No, this is an incremental lift, where you are alchemizing the current situation, Capricorn. I'm getting a very strong message right now. Again, I did that shuffle 3 times, and this was bottom of the deck. This is telling me this is not a new beginning. You're not doing, this is not another, you gotta start over again. This is not also about you being foolish. That's not what this is about. It's just saying that instead, this is a learning, this is a knowing, where the experience is that, and again, this is not the world card. She's pregnant with the world, so it's not a new beginning and it's not an ending. What it is she's alchemizing this situation to change the world real time, in the here and now. She's not living, in the past. She's excited about the future. She's excited about what is to come. And she's not going to bring this new reality into an existence here where this was allowed to occur without any sort of action. She's going to bring, and I think what it is like she's pregnant. The world already exists. But everyone doesn't know that this new world exists. And that's the thing. They don't know that the new Capricorn has this confidence, has this spine. And you're not starting over. That's not what's happening here. You're not starting over. This is not a new beginning. Rather, this is everyone welcome and meet the new Capricorn, the new confident Capricorn that has a spine, that's not going to be walked over, who's going to not let this slide, who's going to not be vindictive, but rather use this experience to redefine the relationship between you and this other party that felt that they could do this. That, they haven't met you yet. They haven't met the side of you. And this is an opportunity for you to bring them to the forefront, to bring this new confidence, this new person that is worthy, the person that has boundaries. And when you speak, people will listen. Your words matter. And you have those swords as well, and you're willing, and you now can pick up that sword. You've grown so much that it's no longer heavy. You're willing to pick up that sword. You have the strength inside to pick up that sword and in those words, and to use them in a way that's meaningful, that has impact, that people listen, and they know that you're a force to be reckoned with. But you're not using it in a negative way, at the very highest vibration for all those involved. So, Capricorn, if this relates to you in any way, again, I thank you for being here. Use the next week or so to reclaim your power to the outside world. You've done the inner work. Now you need to have them meet the new you. Birth that world, okay? Don't start over. You don't need to start over. You're right where you should be. So with that, I'll leave it here. I wish you nothing but the best. Love and light.